Thank you very much, everybody, and welcome to my short presentation. I will do a presentation about the first product, the shower tray. You have seen it with this icon, and the way and the reason why we have to develop a second technology, the Joulia inline drain. So it's a story about two projects, and the connecting link is more or less a diversion and rerouting. This morning we had also to reroute our taxi to this venue here, and the good story about rerouting is that sometimes it makes very sense, especially in our case when we are rerouting the cold water. First we route it into the heat exchanger and then to the mixer valve, but you will see it afterwards. So how all began? It was in 2009. I was a student at the University of Applied Science in northwestern Switzerland, and I did a master thesis with this innovation house Creaholic based in Biel, Switzerland. Creaholic is a company between 20 and 30 engineers from various fields are working there, and they are doing really different works, interdisciplinary works for customers like these ones, very famous ones. But the founder, Elmar Mock, he started with this famous Swatch watch in the 80s, and since then he believes that industry needs a lot of innovation or disruption. So there's this special rule at Creaholic that you have 100 hours per year. You can spend them on individual projects that you have to nobody explain what you're doing. You can just do it, and after 100 hours you have to explain your mates what have you done so far and what's the goal of your research, and then they will decide if they will turn this project in a risk project where they invest money and time, or probably if it's already invented somewhere else, and then you have to stop it. So why drain water heat recycling? Because Christoph, a workmate of mine, he started in 2007 with this project, and then you could see that the energy consumption of Switzerland has risen extremely. These were the two World War I and II, and this is the oil crisis here. And since then, we are living on a very high level with 6,000 watts performance day by day. That's all our lifestyle. And the Switzerland government decided to lower this energy consumption to a third. So we have somehow to lower the 6,000 watts to 2,000. That's a big task up until 2050. And a lot of energy is used for central heating. Here you can see an old building that has something new on the facade, some insulation. And because of the codes and standards, the energy need for buildings in terms of heating is lowered over the years. So since 1975 up until now, almost nothing is used for central heating now in Switzerland because of this thick insulation. But what you see here, the red bars, the hot water side, has nothing changed since then. And if you have a look at this energy budget here, you will see it's worth spending some money on the hot water side as well. So we raise the efficiency of the hot water, and after the first step, putting some insulation on the walls and having double or even 3 layers of glazing, we will close the first remaining chink in the armor, and we will put a heat exchanger in this construction. So something like that won't work because hot water needs a lot of energy. For a comparison, if you take a shower of about 8 minutes with about 12 liter hot water per minute, then you will need the same amount of energy as you would climb the Eiffel Tower as an 80 kilogram person, not only once, but it's 55 times, only to have the hot water made for 1 shower. And after a couple of seconds, it's flushed down the drain. So it doesn't make really sense. And therefore, we are combining now in future comfort and efficiency, because the question, if you would like to have comfort, a lot of hot water, or an efficient shower, Doesn't really make sense, so we combine these two things. And the comfort is raised because thanks to the heat exchanger, you can shower longer, the boiler lasts longer, you can shower with a bigger shower head and with more flow as well, and more flow also when showering with flow heaters or instantaneous heaters, because the electric is quite limited, the power for these flow heaters. So if you come with preheated water into these flow heaters, then it's much more fun to take this shower. And the drain water heat recycling is totally invisible and it's easy to clean. The efficiency is a better one because our energy is not wasted anymore, so we don't drain it to the sewage. It's used to preheat the cold incoming water, and it's a very compact and passive system. That's what the architects like. They don't want to have an extra plug for this heat exchanger, so it's very simple. We founded the company in 2010. Mr. Jules was giving the name because he was beer brewer and physics, and because of this man we called the company Joulia, because it's all about energy and heat. And we did it, the first product like that, so we invented the shower tray made out of aluminium, ceramic coated with a heat exchanger on the back. So it was quite a huge step forward to build these things mass-produced, laser welded, ceramic coated, as I said, and we had a lot of surprises to face, because when you're dealing with hardware, then the hardware doesn't make really what you think it should do. So there are special rules when treating the hardware. And you had also to test it. And yes, this was the first product at the end, 90 by 90, a white shower deck as an inlay. The hot water rinses over this inlay, then drops into the tray. And in a thin film, it flows down the drain. The heat stays in the tray, and the cold water underneath will catch this heat. This is a cross-section. It's a very simple passive system. And now I want to show you a first movie, how this works.
In a normal shower, the warm water disappears down the drain without anyone giving it a second thought. That's why we developed Joulia. Joulia uses the heat energy from the outgoing warm shower water to heat up the incoming cold water. The cold water is routed through the shower floor so that it can absorb heat energy. The dirty shower water goes down the drain as usual, but its heat stays behind. In order to reclaim the most heat energy possible, we invented the shower deck. It fits perfectly into the shower tray and channels every drop of water into a thin film on the shower tray surface. The shower tray warms up, and this heat is passed along to the incoming cold water. This pre-warmed cold water means that much less hot water is needed. With this method, a 4-person household where each person showers 8 minutes a day, in a shower that uses 12 liters per minute, will save 990 kilowatt hours per year. If everyone in Switzerland showered this way, the amount of energy saved would be the equivalent of a 99-kilometer string of tanker cars full of heating oil. By the way, the great thing about Joulia is that you don't have to do anything to save this energy. You get into the shower, turn on the water, and shower as you always do. The warm shower water transfers its heat to the shower floor and then flows down the drain. The warm shower floor warms the incoming cold water, so less hot water is needed at the mixing bath. Joulia, the shower with heat recovery, the most refreshing way to save energy.
So everything looked perfect. The storage was full of shower trays, and we also could do very nice beacon projects, especially the one here up in the Swiss mountains where energy is really important. We installed the highest Joulia trays here in the base camp of the Matterhorn, and we also won some very, very prestigious prizes like the Watt Door in 2013. This was the team at this time. Here at this point of sales we also tried to sell it, but then we had to realize that with only one tray and with that price, it wasn't possible because the production costs just were too high, because there are so many tiers that the product is sold, it wasn't possible. So we had to do something else, because I think this group of people, also with our private investors, they really believed in rainwater heat recycling, and they gave us a second chance to develop something that's more affordable for everyone, so mass production, because in the first product we had very specialized processes, this ceramic coating in this size, and the deep drawing process was very unique. So we had to do something very simple, that a lot of competition is going on. The new product has to be more modular and scalable, of course, and safer, because we are dealing with cold water, and cold water in construction site is always a problem, so nobody trusts us when we say this works for more than 20 years. Right. So since we can say the heat exchanger is replaceable, that's our biggest thing, I think. So, and also the creative freedom for architects and interior designers. If they have to choose a certain product that looks this way, that's not an advantage. So the new business model has respect that we need a multiplier, a B2B or OEM customer, and we have to do a specialization, and we would like to be a competent center for heat exchanger for the development of these. So the new brief looked like that. Do something that's linear and can be inbuilt as a drain, or a drain in a shower area, or even in a pre-wall construction. And yes, this was the first product, 90 by 90. So, and the dream was to have something much smaller and even more efficient and looking nicer. So, and then we thought, wow, this heat exchanger can be sold to anybody else, because there are a lot of shower tray and drain manufacturers on this world. We don't have to do it on ourselves. So this was the first goal. We were quite enthusiastic, and we glued a sticker onto the ground, and we said everything that's new and this new technology has to find a place inside this small stripe of about 6 centimeters or so. The functionality was quite easy: a drain with a cold water inlet and outlet, and then we have this pre-warmed cold water that reaches the mixer valve, and therefore we need less from the left side, the hot water side. So we designed lots of different versions, because it's a competition in terms of height, building height, efficiency, the design, and I think we have to solve all the problems that it looks very good, and that the architects at the end, they'll love it. So lots of generations. Every part of it has its own history. So you start with a mock-up made out of wood or plastic, and then you end up with having something that looks pretty cool. But at this stage here, that's not mass-produced. It's just a very nice, rapid prototyping. Costs a lot, but from this step up to the serial batch, we needed 1.5 years more time. So it's quite a lot of things, lots of problems to solve, and now it's invisible. So therefore, we won a lot of customers attraction, and also we could convince that big companies like Laufen, they will implement our core technology now into their product. So their product looks like that, and our is just the normal standard drain. We have a lot of advantages now and unique selling positions. And the first business model was, we would love to be Gore-Tex, so we would love to deliver the hardware, and the others are doing the rest. So Joulia inline and all the different kinds of shower trays and drain. This was the test bench we had to design. This is our CTO, quite familiar with all these hoses and signals. And yes, now we have a platform technology that's very scalable, and we can raise the efficiency or lower it depending on the costs. And therefore we want also the design price Schweiz. And since we have this price, it's very easy to sell these things to architects. And we were wondering, because we have something invisible and in the wastewater, so it was quite a shift in the jury of the design price Schweiz that they gave us this price. But then we had to realize that the industry, the shower drain and tray manufacturers, are just too slow. They need so much time to implement something new, And on the left side, although we are having these two partners, Laufen and Duschelux, that are implementing our heat exchangers, we had to invent our own drain. So that's the product I'm having here. You can see it afterwards. This is a cross-section, how now the product looks like. And the other animation of the second product looks like that.
Taking a warm shower is an everyday pleasure that we can no longer do without. But unfortunately, many people have no idea just how much energy is contained in the warm shower water. To give you an idea, in modern homes, producing hot water requires almost as much energy as the entire home heating system. And taking an 8-minute shower uses the same energy as climbing the Eiffel Tower 55 times. It is unbelievable that we drain this precious energy after just a few seconds of use. We wanted to change this, so we decided to develop Joulia Inline. A very simple solution with no electronics or moving parts. Joulia Inline consists of special cold water pipes that are integrated directly into the drainage system. Whenever somebody takes a shower, the warm shower water runs over these pipes and preheats the incoming cold water. With the cold water already preheated, your relaxing warm shower uses less hot water at the mixer valve. And the best part? Nothing can be seen from outside. The heat exchanger is fully integrated in the shower area and very efficiently recovers your energy. By just connecting the cold water supply pipe to the special drainage channel, your shower energy no longer flows straight down the drain, but is reused, helping you to reduce your energy consumption, utility bill, and even your carbon footprint. In a 4-person household, you can reclaim as much energy as 8 meters squared of solar cells produced per year. Joulia Inline is available in several different lengths and efficiencies. Wouldn't it be nice if you could recycle your energy as well? So keep an eye out for this logo when buying your next shower. Joulia, shower with heat recovery, the most refreshing way to save energy.
So, yes, these are the two cross sections. We've invented a 3-pipe and a 5-pipe version. You take off the cover, and then it's everything dismountable. Not only the siphon, but also this heat exchanger. And that's a big advantage when you try to sell new things to total constructor or general constructor. The efficiency is shown here. These are the 5-pipe modules, and this is the 3 pipes, and this is the flow of the shower head. So if you're taking a shower head with 6 liter, then you have not a lot of performance, but a high efficiency, more than 40%. If you take a big shower head and the 5P version, then you have more than 10,000 watt power coming out of this heat exchanger. So that's quite impressive. At the fair, we showed the people with 160 watt bulbs. What does it mean, having 6,000 watts going on in your shower drain? And they were quite impressed. So, and another comparison is when we try to win back 1,000 kilowatt hours with one such drain, compared to PV, we need, at least in Switzerland, about 7 to 8 square meter that we can get this energy back. So now, the current state is that we are producing these drains. It was quite a hard task to get the quality for all these parts. We had to convince many manufacturers that they are doing what we would like to have, not such things, much nicer things. And yes, now we have rented in September a much bigger construction plant. And now we can produce these things in a good scale. We had also to invent some test benches just to make sure that's watertight. And yes, we have already started with the first reference projects, like the one in Brütten. That's a fully energy, how do you say, autark, energy independent dwelling. I think 6 families are living there. And the Swiss Federal Office of Energy is doing also energy chilling, a roadshow, and our Joulia drain is inbuilt there. They want to convince normal people that it's very fun having something efficient in their house. And this building, it looks so nice, and it's not visible that 6 or 10,000 watt are doing something very good for your household. And yes, it's nice when you see that the architects and the building owners, they love your product at the end. For the finish, I will show you my 3 learnings. The first learning, when you build up a startup, everybody tells you, wow, startup is like a decathlon. I say yes, to some extent yes, but it's more like that. You have to do all the 10 things at the same time. So it's not after one sports after each other, but at the same time. Then if you would reach a goal and you have a vision and you start somewhere here and you know, wow, the low-hanging fruits are up here, then and then you hear such success stories, well, it's very easy because blah, 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 we did this and this and that and that. Then you think, wow, bright guys, but actually you end up often here or here or here or here or even here. And the way back, as I describe now, is much easier than if you stand directly at the very beginning. So, and this is also one thing we try to do every day: fail quick, learn fast. If we want to succeed, we have to double our failure rate. Yes, this is the team. These are the bulbs, the 6,000 watts. This is the same energy equivalent, also 6,000 watts. And now, for finishing my presentation, I will show you a short movie about this trade fair in January this year we had in Basel, Switzerland, and there you can see the end product.